friends, Jerry Rosa here in the Rosa String Works Workshop. I have about 3 things for you today, and the first one is, of course, the status of that mandolin. As you may have been able to see on Friday, even though we had such a poor connection on the Shop Talk in general, though some people experienced no trouble with it at all, I think I have a theory behind that. So that's actually one of the items I'm going to talk about here in a minute. But anyway, the status of the mandolin presently is very good. All I have to do now is put on the body binding and, put a little bit more finish on it, and I'm done. So I'll be working on the body binding most of the rest of the day. First, I have to run my wife into town, so that's going to be a slight interruption. We're having the big truck worked on today, which is never a fun experience because it's that big ton truck with the big diesel engine and the big dually wheels in the back, and yeah, it passes everything but a gas station or maybe a diesel station. Anyway, that's a side note. Item number 2 is a little bit about what happened on the Shop Talk Friday. Some people experienced no trouble at all. Other people had so much lagging that it wasn't watchable. The video actually uploaded with no problem at all, except for the fact that it cut it off short. Now, I cut the video off a little bit short anyway, but I didn't just abruptly cut it off like what you see in the video. I would expect that I would have cut the video off in about another minute, but it shortened the whole thing by about a minute at least. So here's my theory. My equipment itself is working fine. I think my new video card's working fine, all that. Over the last 2 weeks, I've noticed my actual upload and download speeds on my internet connection have slowly dropped and dropped and dropped. I mean, just a few weeks ago, I was anywhere from 20 to 30 meg down and anywhere from 2 to 5 meg up. 2 is on the low end for sure. 5 isn't too bad at all. About 4 is probably the minimum that you need to have really reliable upload, under my parameters. Obviously, more is better. I know that. You don't have to tell me that. It's dropped now to where I'm only getting about 10 down, or, maybe 15 down. I'm getting about anywhere from 1 to 1.5 up, which is just not good enough. And you might say, well, why would it drop just in the last 2 weeks? Put a little video together this morning, and this will probably explain that. Well, my friends, we're outside the workshop. That's the workshop right there. And what I want to show you is my antenna for my internet service. It's cell tower internet, basically. In other words, it's T-Mobile home internet service. That Yagi antenna, being up 40 feet above ground level here, typically talks to that tower without any problem. But the service has degraded over the last couple of weeks, and you wonder why. It's because these trees are budding out. Not these specific trees, but trees in general are budding out. And that Yagi antenna is pointed directly at a cell tower, and in my son's valley, which we're going to move over here, he has some tall trees which you can't really see, but kind of like in that area there, that are between this tower and say about there. And I move back over here, and I can maybe even see the cell tower. It's about right there somewhere. I can't really see it, but it's about there somewhere. Anyway, these close trees are definitely below my tower height. But there's a tree out in the middle of his valley that after I went way over there, I think is the one that's blocking the cell tower. So my idea is to raise my tower another 15 feet. That may not be much, but I think it might be enough to handle the problem. So basically what I have to do is lift I'm going to do it from the bottom. Lift this pole up, straight up, 15 feet higher. So I have to put a new base on this up about 15 feet, which is pretty close to that peak right there. So in other words, this base right here is going to go all the way up there. That seems like a pretty good height adjustment to me, and I think it might make the difference. That means I have to lengthen these little guy wires that are here. Yeah, there's a loose pony there, believe it or not. We have that all the time around here. And this other guy wire that's on this side, and then there's another guy wire going the other way over there. All those wires will have to be lengthened. It will be a difficult job at best to raise this up and not have the pole fall over while we're doing it. Let me show you the base that I have created to lift that up. So we're on the dark side over here now, on the welding metal side, and I have welded up this pole. The bottom of this pole is much bigger, as you can see, and that will fit over the base that's currently out there. So that'll be the bottom. The bottom of the pole that's out there already should fit inside of this. And I have a plate in here with a hole drilled through it so water could drain out. Anyway, I'm going to slide that pole in the end of this, then lift it straight up this additional 15 feet. Well, hope you enjoyed. Look at that little video there about what I'm going to do about the internet service. Yes, I do think it's the tree leaves that have filled up and are covering up my signal. Will raising it 15 feet do anything? I don't know. It's just a guess. I don't feel like I can raise it much more than 15 feet and be stable. So that's why I chose that roughly 15 feet. We'll just see what happens. I don't see much point in continuing with the shop talks until I get this problem resolved. So I'm not saying today yet that we won't have a shop talk on Friday, because I might be able to get it resolved before then. But I would say that likelihood is less. Let's just say it that way. Okay, so that's the name of that tune. That's item number 2. Item number 3 is much more positive and much more wonderful from my perspective. Item 3 is just like a dream for me. This is a story, so bear with me. I think you're going to enjoy it though. Back in 2005, unfortunately, it's going to start off kind of sad. My mother passed away. Her name was Mary Ellen Rosa. About 6 months later, or a little less, actually more like 5 months later, my second grandchild was born. Her name became Mary Ellen Rosa. So she was named in part after my mother. My mother and my father, especially my father, were really big into the Missouri Foxtrotting Horse Breed Association. In fact, my father has a place in their Hall of Fame. My mother worked for the St. Louis chapter of the Missouri Foxtrotters for many, many years, helping with putting on their horse shows, just doing whatever they needed help with, basically. My father was never an officer in any of this, so he had no pull or say in the goings-on, if you will. He just was a participant, and a very active participant in their shows and, just training and all that. Well, after my mother passed away in 2005, the St. Louis chapter of the Missouri Foxtrotting Horse Breed Association decided to name a class after her in her honor. It was the Ladies Foxtrot class. In other words, it's an open class where any female that wants to ride a foxtrotting horse in this class and be judged, could win the trophy in my mother's name. This trophy is a traveling trophy, and the winner gets their name engraved on a plaque and put on the big trophy. Kind of like some of the trophies you see in the golf world, where the past winners have their names put on the trophy. Well, that's been going on since, 2005-ish. It's been won by a lot of people. Only one person has won it 2 years in a row. The rule is if you win it 3 years in a row, you get to retire the trophy. Well, no one's done that. No one's really come close to that yet. My granddaughter Mary, ever since she was 4 years old, has said she was going to win that trophy someday. Well, this past Saturday, she did. Here's some pictures. I hope you enjoy them. I hope you enjoyed a look at those pictures there of my granddaughter Mary Ellen. She's also the basketball star that you've heard me talk about with Inherited My Big Hands. She's a beautiful girl, and I'm so proud of her. And so that news alone, that she won my mother's memorial trophy, would be more than the best news ever. But that's not all. The top 3 horses that win in each class, and so therefore Mary, having won her class, are eligible to then participate in what they call the stake class. This would be the equivalent to, say, best of show in a dog show or something like that. So all the horses then go into the one class and they're all judged. They typically have 3 judges, by the way, so it's a big deal. Anyway, you do your performance and then they choose the winner for the whole horse show. Well, Mary won that as well. Oh my gosh. I couldn't be more proud. Well, I hope you enjoyed taking a look at Mary's success this weekend. Yeah, I'm one proud grandpa, and it couldn't have happened to a nicer girl. Congratulations, Mary. I hope you can win it next year and the year after. It would be awesome. Well, that's all I have for you today. I'm hoping to make some really good progress on that mandolin today, and we'll show you what that looks like tomorrow. And then hopefully we can make some progress on our internet service by Friday so that we can still have our shop talk. I just am not willing to go back down in resolution and quality, and I want to improve my internet service so that we can have a decent shop talk. Hope you have a great day. We'll see you tomorrow.